Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. We are starting the year off strong with a very colorful, very easy Dollar Tree DIY. So you can see them without spinning here. These are Dollar Tree disco ball ornaments. You heard that right. And I used a basic craft supply to make them look like this. So here you can see, I'm going to show you the labels so you can search for it. I found these in the party section of the Dollar Tree. So go ahead and pause this if you need the label to search and screen capture. So I found these individual were $1.25. They were wrapped in bubble wrap, protected, and there were only 2 of them left, so I took what they had. These are alcohol ink markers. There is a fine tip and a broad tip. I use them for primarily coloring faux fur and lettering, but we're going to use them today. So on the underside of each of the disco balls, I just sort of worked through some colors. I will give you some tips as we go through this, but basically, first tip is protect your work surface. You're gonna see why in just a second. I went through and I saw which of the pinks, which of the purples, which of the blues were bright enough for the project I wanted, and then I just got to work. My next tip in this whole thing is to use the fine point tip, and don't really draw on it like paper. It's hard to show because it's reflecting, but I am using it like connecting dots. So I basically just outline the shape hovering over it, and then I'm connecting all the dots by picking up and putting down the marker. I counted each of the little rectangle pieces so that I could get an even design, but you can also cut designs out of masking tape or washi tape and put those all over your disco balls. They have little tiny ones at Amazon all the way up through this size, which is about 3.5 inches. And I had that kit coming, but we had a massive weather event, meaning we got dusted with the lightest dusting of snow. However, this is Austin, Texas, and we don't have snowplows, trucks with salt in them. So we just stayed home, and so did Amazon, and not deliver my set. So I already had these from the Dollar Tree and decided I'd just whip these out. So the broad tip I used to fill it in. Again, I'm not dragging it over the edge of each of these. I am just filling in and coloring each one. So this took about 30 minutes, so I'm going to edit it out, a lot of the same thing. But basically, once you get your full design on there, you can opt to let it dry all the way, or you can blend some of the edges. So alcohol ink is a really neat way to easily blend colors. It does all the work for you. It kind of twists and turns. You can even spray isopropyl alcohol on it for some tie-dye effects. Alcohol ink is pretty cool. These markers are just alcohol ink from the bottles in marker form. Makes it a little easier to do all these cool designs. Just realize that is not the color I wanted to use for this one, so I do want to cut the tag off because we don't need to advertise for the Dollar Tree. I think we do that enough here on YouTube. So what I'm going to do now is, again, I'm just going to go on the outside edge. And if you want these two to combine, do it like this, which is do not wait for the pink to dry. It only takes between 5 and 10 minutes to dry. And the good part is, let's say you don't have full coverage on something, just let it dry completely and then fill in that extra spot that you missed or something. It's super easy. If you've never worked with alcohol ink before, I have to say it's super easy. It can be a little translucent depending on the colors. I happen to choose some very vibrant colors that had a lot of saturation, just so that they'll fit what I'm doing. So this entire craft, it took about 30 minutes, and that's what I'm willing to do for Valentine's Day. Okay, I'm not willing to go all out unless I'm hosting a party. I am not doing crafts that take a week. So if you like quick crafts, if you like easy crafts, this is one of them. You can also do this craft with kids, although I wouldn't do it with anybody lower than 5, but definitely protect your work surface. It doesn't matter if you're doing it with kids or with adults. So what I did is I went through and did half of this design and then let it dry. Before I let it dry completely, I took the tip, the fine point tip, and filled in anything that was showing the foam ball. So these are Dollar Tree quality, and you can see the white styrofoam ball in between the pieces. So I just filled that in. They look good. Now I set that off to dry for at least 5 minutes. You can see the back is not painted at all yet. Now, it turned out looking like this. I think she looks good. I like it. For $1.25 and, 30 minutes of my time, I have to say, I'm impressed. So for the other one, I repeated the same steps and just did a different design. I made smaller hearts. So if you are wondering, this one took a little bit more time because I actually had to, give 12 seconds of thought to how I should space these hearts. Are they even? I mean, do they look even? Because if they look even, I'm not going to tell on myself. But they're not even. So I just filled it in with the thicker end and then repeated. So for this one, I thought, well, it's going to dry, right? It's going to be enough time to dry. And for the most part, the little hearts absolutely dried. However, when I went to this pink, because I was so working on a small little area, I went and did the fine point in between. And these you can definitely see a little bit more blending. I don't know. It's hard to show you because it is reflective. So you're basically just seeing my light and my camera and me. Hi. But you can see it's kind of blending into purple there a little bit. There you go. And then once I was done, I just filled in the top of it. So I will say at the end, you'll see my marker and it's kind of got pink and blue on it, which is purple. You can wash the tips of your markers. You can also, even if you frayed them, you can even trim them down with some fine tip sewing scissors. So if you mess anything up, it's always fixable. It's always fixable. You can even replace the nubs if you want to get all technical. I will never do that. I'll give them to the kids. But here you go. You can see I just went through and did the entire pink on the outer edge of this. And this is why I say you really need to protect your surface, because you can see the pink is already transferring to that towel because I didn't wait for it to dry all the way around. But I did go through again and fill in all of these little spaces. I didn't make it too big of a deal. Like if it didn't fit, it didn't fit. And I wasn't going to lose my business over it. You know what I mean? Like you can see there's a little white there, but look, no one's gonna tell. If you would like a detailed printout of this tutorial, hop on over to rufflesandrainboots.com or click on the link down below. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to put my supply link down below and ask me any questions in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more crafty fun.